Okay, so hi, I'm going to start over. I had just started and I realized I wasn't recording. So I'm Jen Oldham, and we are going to be doing a fun class on essential oils and Valentine's Day. And it is a juicy class, so it'll be fun. I will keep it PG rated. Um, Definitely want you guys to enjoy the class, but I don't want anyone feeling, too a little bit uncomfortable. I'm going to shoot a quick text message to somebody that just saw log off, make sure they're not having any problems. Anyway, so super excited to share this with you tonight. So this is definitely more of a juicy, spicy class that I normally teach. So here we go. So hang on, I'm going to send a quick. I just want to make sure everybody is on okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to first start, as I mentioned, just with a really brief, basic essential oil introduction to doTERRA, just so that everybody understands why we love doTERRA. And then we're going to get to the fun, juicy class. I'm getting a little sweaty thinking about it. Okay, all right, everybody's back, so we're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and the first thing I'm going to share is going to be, I think I can just share my desktop. Okay, so we're going to go to, this is what we're going to start with first. So I'm going to go ahead and just talk a little bit about doTERRA, and I'm going to keep this 5 minutes or less, just so that way I'm respectful of everybody's time, and we're definitely talking about what I said we would talk about. So I'm going to just briefly share my essential oil story, and then I'm going to talk about why I picked doTERRA, what I love, 5 minutes or less, time me, and then we're going to talk about the fun, juicy class. You guys might blush. All right, just to let you know, it's gonna be good. Although it won't be too scandalous, I promise. I took out a couple slides because I was like, we'll just, I'll take a couple things out. So I hope you can see my handout okay. So, I love to think of, a lot of times we hear of alternative medicine and then like traditional medicine, right? And I don't really love the term alternative, only because I think we can use them together, and I think we can call it complementary medicine. Like we can totally use essential oils with Western medicine if that is what's needed. I know that I do. I know that I've done that for sure. So, I will tell you that I will always use my essential oils first, just because I find that I have less side effects. I don't worry about having symptoms from the medication. I guess that's side effects, right? I don't worry about allergic reactions, things like that. I feel more confident in using my essential oils instead of using Western medication. Now, that being said, there is a time and a place for it, and I'm so grateful for it when we need it. So this briefly talks about, why when you use a modern approach, it might work better with your body. And then some of the things that a natural approach might do for your body. So a modern approach, it's designed to manage symptoms, usually made from synthetic agents, and you can have side effects. And a lot of money is put into healthcare, like so much money. And you have to ask yourself, are we healthier? I don't know. Sometimes I kind of wonder. Natural approach definitely is going to go in and work with your body, work with the root causes. So here's just a really quick example for you. I don't get headaches often, but when I do, it's typically a hormone headache. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be gross, but I'm like, it's like I have snot in the back of my nose. So sorry, guys. I'm just going to be real with you and keep going so that you're not, I don't want to gross anybody out. So I find whenever I get a headache, it's typically a hormone headache. So I can absolutely take a medication like ibuprofen, Tylenol, whatever. I can take it, and will it get rid of my headache? Totally. But as soon as it wears off, my headache is still there. Typically my headaches are caused from hormones. And so I find if I use something that will balance hormones, and I'm going to show you a couple of hormone balancers on our class tonight, my headache goes away. So it's great because it treats the root cause, and it gets rid of any pain or discomfort that I'm feeling. And I also find that I have very minimal side effects. In fact, my minimal side effects are typically positive side effects. For example, if I use peppermint for a headache, I find that I don't have a stuffy nose anymore either. So it's really great at what it does. So you'll get side effects that are actually on the positive side. So, and this is, again, we're going to just breeze through this. Essential oils are effective. So I love to let everybody know that essential oils come from plants, right? And I find, the more natural that you eat, like less processed, your body does better with that, right? Like you don't feel as gross. Well, I found the same things with essential oils. when I use a less processed medication, something in its more natural form, I usually feel better. Even when it comes to vitamins, if I use a vitamin that's like super synthetic, I find that I'm like, that's great. I swallowed a brick and it's sitting right here. It's sitting right here in my gut. Whereas if I use vitamins that are more whole food based, it's like, I don't feel anything, which is what you want to feel. You don't want to feel like you just swallowed a brick. So I really like that oils are so natural and they work well with our body, just like a more natural diet would work well with your body. Essential oils are so complex and amazing. So like one drop of oil can do so many different things for your body. They have hundreds of different compounds. So if you were to look at the back of a bottle of medication and look at the active ingredient in it, it has one typically. And that means that it's going to be usually good for one thing for your body. Like if you're taking something for a headache, or if you're taking something for a stomach ache, they would be two different things. And you certainly wouldn't take that same thing for your allergies, and you really wouldn't take it if you had a wart on your foot, right? Like you wouldn't use all the medications for that one thing. But because the oils are so complex and made up of so many different constituents, oils can address so many things. So I could use peppermint. It would help with a headache. It would help with any congestion. It would help with allergies. It would help with any tummy troubles. So it's amazing that one drop of oils can do so many different things. I love it because it has been so helpful for me. I always just travel with a few oils, like this little tiny pouch that's about this big, and it addresses so many different things. Like it's great. I feel like I've traveled with my medicine cabinet and I can leave my home with ease, which is really nice. Oils are very potent and very, very effective, which is great. The last thing that I'm going to address real quick is doTERRA's quality. So I've been involved with doTERRA. I signed up to start using them 12 years ago. It's so crazy. I'm like, where has the time gone? I've had 3 more babies in that time period, and everybody's gotten older, including me. So I love the oils because of their quality. And since joining doTERRA 12 years ago, I have seen so many other essential oil companies pop up. Now, doTERRA by no means was the first essential oil company. They weren't the first people to have oils. Like they've actually opened up tombs, ancient like Egyptian tombs, and found essential oils in those tombs. And a lot of them were still in good shape, which is so crazy. So doTERRA, like I don't want anyone to think that I feel like doTERRA is this brand new oil, the brand new oils, leader, or like they created oils. They did not. However, I wholeheartedly feel like their quality is amazing, and I haven't ever found any other quality like it. First of all, one thing that I love that they do is, there's some companies that will own their own farms, or companies that most companies buy from brokers. And when you're buying from a broker, you're not quite sure what you're getting. You're not there, you're not seeing it, you're just hearing from somebody how great it is. But is it really that great? I'm not quite sure. You never really, really know. So I think it's really important that doTERRA works directly with their farmers. They work, hand in hand with them. They help them, they'll work with somebody who's maybe owned their oregano farm for decades, generations. And they go in and they'll work with the farmer. So it's like, first of all, we know where our oregano is coming from, or any oil. That's just the first one that came to mind. And then they actually do test every single batch of oils that is distilled, because they want to make sure that there's not any extra fillers, weeds, there's nothing extra in there. So we know that they're super pure, and that makes them so safe. So you guys, I'm going to be talking about using oils in some pretty intimate situations. And I think it's pretty important that you're using a good quality of oil, because you want to make sure that it's safe and natural and not going to harm your body. So that's why I love the quality of doTERRA. All right, so now we're going to totally switch gears, and we're going to talk about fun topic of romance and intimacy. And I will keep this PG rated. I think I can keep it PG rated. Let's see. We're going to just view this from, you guys, I've been doing PowerPoints for I don't even know how many years. And every single time I'm like, how do I start this? Okay. So romance and intimacy, and I'm going to shrink myself just a little bit so that way I can actually see my screen. All right. I love this. Make every day feel like Valentine's Day with essential oils. Okay, so I didn't do this class on Valentine's Day because it's Valentine's Day. Everyone's out celebrating and having fun. And a few days before that, I was running a half marathon in Arizona. So I was more worried about getting through my race than doing an essential oil class. So now I could totally focus on this and be present. And, you know, these are fun tips that are going to be great year round, right? We don't want just a good love life just on Valentine's Day. We want it year round. So, you know, as you know, and I think this especially applies to women. You know, a lot of men are ready to go. They're always in the mood. It's, you know, they're willing, they're ready to have a great time no matter when, what, or where, right? And a lot of times, especially with women, we may not always be in that mood. Sometimes it just feels like, man, what happened to my libido? Especially after I've had kids and I get a little bit older. It's like, oh man. So there's lots of different things that can cause low libido. And what I like about essential oils is, again, as I mentioned earlier, they talk about the root cause. Well, these are some root causes, and the oils can actually go in and address every single one of these things. So if it's a lack of sleep, I mean, if the time spent in your bed, oils aren't going to add another 4 hours of laying in your bed, right? But if you're not sleeping because you can't fall asleep or can't stay asleep, oils can certainly help with that. Stress, oils can certainly help with that. And I'm going to show you some oils that will help with each one of these things. Obviously, anxieties can really just make it so that that's the last thing I'm thinking about right now. Don't touch me. You know, feeling overwhelmed or hormone imbalance can be a big thing. Now, one thing that I have noticed, and I'm sure that you'll, you know, as I mentioned this, you'll be like, oh yeah, I totally know what you're talking about, is the power of smell to change your mood is incredible. So even if, like, think about walking into, like, let's say you go home and visit your parents and your mom is baking some chocolate chip cookies or something that you really like, whether it's a pie, cookies, fresh bread, I don't know, maybe you really like Brussels sprouts. I don't know. But if you can smell it baking, you're like, oh, that smells so good. And think about what that does to your mood. You're like, oh my gosh, that smells amazing. And it's like, even thinking about smelling a lemon, you can get your mouth watering just thinking about a lemon, right? So like, what a lemon smells like. So it's crazy what the power of smell can do to change your mood. Or anytime I smell the perfume White Diamonds, it reminds me of my mom. And I'm like, oh, I wonder how my mom's doing, you know? So it is amazing what the power of smell can do to your state of mind and your hormones. And so I'm going to give you some of my favorite recipes just to diffuse, just to set the tone, just to get in the mood, just to help shift your mindset so it might be in a little bit of a better place. So, you know, 3 ways to set the mood would be topically, like getting a massage, you know, relaxing. I always add oils to my massage. Aromatically is a really great way. Like having a bedroom or a diffuser in your bedroom is fabulous. It can really just set the mood, set the tone. And then adding some essential oils to your bath can be absolutely incredible as well. So we're going to go over some intimacy must-haves, massage and bath blends, diffuser, roller, spray, and lubricant recipes. You guys, I hate that word because I heard it from my parents first, and so I'm like, ugh, ugh. It's not my favorite word, but you know, I wanted to give you some recipes. And then just a few tips and tricks in the bedroom. Again, this is not going to be X-rated, nobody worry. So these right here are a collection of incredible oils for, like, if you were to have an intimacy toolkit, these are really, really great oils and products that doTERRA has. So I love fractionated coconut oil as a massage, or excuse me, is like the base for, like, if I make a massage blend, or if you can actually use it as a lube and add a few things to it. You know, if I were to add some things to my intimacy toolkit outside of just the oils, it would be like some roller bottles and maybe a spray bottle, things that make your oils more accessible and easier to use. So I really like using some of these things because, you know, I like using these oils, but if it's easier to use them, I'll use them more often. So I would, you know, I always like to order some empty roller bottles, some empty spray bottles, things, just so that I will use my oils more frequently. So I'm going to go through how these oils and products are great for your intimacy toolkit. So you're not just thinking, okay, there's a million products. This is just some ideas. And I don't ever want anyone to feel like, okay, if I want a good sex life, I need to buy however many oils or things that are on this screen. No, I would, you know, if there's something that's lacking, whether hormone wise or you're stressed and you feel like that particular oil would meet that need, amazing. I'm just doing this again to to just help you get yourself to a really good, healthy place. So I mean, on here, there is just a brief description, and certainly there's definitely more that these oils do than this, but these oils can be good for the following things. And I would say, like, my husband is very big on smells. So I am always, the biggest thing, especially like if you want to use oils as an aphrodisiac, you need to like the smell. So don't look at hair and think, okay, unmasking, I need that. Like, I need to peel back those layers that are causing issues for me. I'm going to use black pepper. If you don't like the smell of black pepper, don't use it. All it's going to do is make you mad. Don't touch me. I'm not in the mood. So use things that you really like. My husband has always loved rose. It is so funny. You can often find him with this exact looking bottle of Rose Touch in his pocket. He'll just smell it. Hold on. So I guarantee you that if he ever wasn't in the mood and I had that oil on, he'd very quickly be in the mood. I really like Balance. Balance isn't on here. Sorry. I really like Whisper. I don't know why. Balance is like always comes off the tip of my tongue because it was my very first oil I used. But I really like Whisper. A fun thing about Whisper oil, it's this oil on the far right, is it's a combination of several oils, including jasmine oil, and I believe there's rose in it as well. I'm just going to look at, I was going to look up to see everything that's in it, but I won't do that right now. But it smells different on every single person. It's incredible. I've taught classes and had everybody put a little bit of Whisper on their wrist, and we'll walk around and smell each other's wrists, and everybody smells so different. So it's incredible at what it does. But I absolutely love it as a perfume. It's got a floral, musky scent to it. I love it as a perfume, and it can be a really good aphrodisiac. So if you're looking more for a little bit more science, I know that some of those things were a little bit foofy, and you're thinking, okay, this sounds a little bit woo-woo. Here's some more scientific reasons about why these oils would work, enhance intimacy, supporting serotonin regulation. Here is what I like about oils. One of the many, many, many things is, sometimes, like, let's say if you have a thyroid issue, if you have a low thyroid, you would do one thing. If your thyroid is too high, you would do another thing. If you use oils, like, so example, if your serotonin is too low or too high, rose can support that either way, right? So you don't have to say, oh, it's too low, I'm going to use this. They're really good at regulating. So I absolutely love that. It's like, I don't have to sit and worry about, am I high or am I low with serotonin or serotonin, GABA, dopamine. Like, I don't know where my levels are in my brain, but the oils can go in and just intuitively work with our bodies and help us get us in a good place. Now, I love, again, my husband loves the smell of rose. I love just smelling the oils because I feel like, especially when it comes to mood, I find that my body is very intellectual at letting me, what it needs. And it lets me know. It's like, oh my gosh, I love the smell of neroli right now. Or I really need this jasmine. And it's like, I crave the smell of it. So these are scientifically some of the things that these oils can do. But it's interesting because neroli, rose, and jasmine are all florals. So neroli is like the flower that's on an orange, like from an orange leaf. But they're all florals, and it's interesting at what those can do to help us as women, and they can help men too, for sure. But outside of my husband, I don't know how many guys are like, hook me up with some of that rose, and Whisper is a lot of the oils in there are going to be floral oils. So a good libido booster is just roll them over your pulse points, which would be your neck. I cannot talk, you guys. Your neck, your ankles, and your wrist 2 or 3 times a day. I love, and if you really like all 3 of these and that's stressful for you to be like, oh, I needed to carry 3 of these around, make a blend. These little caps, you can pop them right off. I think they screw off in their newer form. Before, I used to get just like a little plastic or a little kitchen knife and just wedge it between the little cap and the glass. And now I think they kind of unscrew, and then you can mix them together in a bottle or another roller bottle so that you can have it. So here are some other oils, and I will tell you, I have a friend, he's all sorts of fun, but he always likes, when he teaches classes, he refers to ylang ylang as yabang yabang. Like I said, I'll keep this PG-13, but it always makes me laugh. Ylang ylang is my favorite oil to put in the bathtub. I love it. It is so relaxing. It's so calming. It is just an amazing oil. Maybe it encourages me to take a bath. Maybe that's the increased desire for me, but I mean, no, I love ylang ylang. But I absolutely love what ylang ylang does just to help relax, calm, because then that can get you more in the mood. Clary sage is such a good hormone regulator. It can help to balance estrogen, and a lot of us are so estrogen dominant because there's so many synthetic forms of estrogen out there that are like bombarding our body. And this can help balance that and balance progesterone. And it can get rid of all of that stress in your body. So again, if these can relax you, that's really going to help, right? Cypress, supporting circulatory system and increasing blood flow. That can be a good idea, especially if you're wanting to have some fun. And then I love sandalwood. You can use sandalwood or Hawaiian sandalwood. They're both amazing. Just some other fun things that these oils can do. So that you guys don't think I'm completely nutsy with all this opens your heart. This helps remove masks, like just some things that oils can do. Black pepper can also be really warming. So, and just a cute little story is I have a girl on my team that would go give her elderly neighbor lady a foot massage, and she would add the black pepper because it would help warm her feet up because they were always so cold. Cinnamon bark, that can increase blood flow and circulation. I've always had great lips. Like I've always had nice plump lips. But I had a friend who loved to add cinnamon bark to her lip gloss because she says it makes her lips be a little more plump. Passion is one of my favorite oils. And one thing, I don't know if I have this on here, but I love to mix passion and citrus bliss. So I'll put that in my diffuser in my bedroom, and that's a good one. I really like that one. Ginger, it's nice to know that there's something just for the men, right? This helps to boost libido in men. And then peppermint can be fun. And you can experiment with oils and have fun with them. And you can use them in sensitive areas. One thing I always recommend doing is heavily diluting them. First of all, you're going to want to try it maybe on your wrist or somewhere that, it's not going to, if it's irritating, you can dilute it more with more oil. You can use them in more sensitive areas. Just make sure that you dilute them. And if it ever is irritating to you, don't try to wash it off with hot water. Use more oil. So I woke up, I have it's almost like I have a zit in my inner ear. It's so weird. It's like this little tiny, I don't know. So if I put tea tree on it, it helps to get rid of that little infection, but it was starting to really irritate my ear. And so I hurried and got some coconut oil, and I was just rubbing it around. So if that ever happens anywhere else on your body, grab some coconut oil. So there's some fun recipes for getting in the mood, for, things that you can put in your bathtub. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of the ylang ylang. So anything that with ylang ylang on it is an automatic yes for me because I love it so much. I love this pro tip on the bottom, hot oils. So that's going to be things like cinnamon, anything that has like cinnamon, clove. You would never bathe in thyme, oregano, things like that, but those would be hot oils as well. But there's things that smell so good and you're like, oh, I want to put that in my bathtub. You just have to be a little bit careful, and you can always do the skin test and just put some right on your wrist and see what it does first. So if I know that it's going to be really hot, I always will mix it in with a little bit of Epsom salts or another sort of a dispersant. So because otherwise your pores open up and you're in the bath and you're like, put peppermint in there and you're like, oh, this stings, everything hurts. We don't want that. Jasmine and ylang ylang won't irritate your skin at all. But like if you were to put cinnamon in there, that would definitely irritate your skin. So you'd want to mix it in something first. Attraction blend. So these are some fun. This is another fun recipe that you can use. And again, what I would do is just get your empty roller bottle, and you can mix these to that empty roller bottle. And I used to, back in the day, just use straight oils in my roller bottle. And I've learned, well, why not add them to coconut oil, because it's not going to make it so that your oils don't work as well. It's just spreading them out more. Your skin's going to absorb them better. It's not going to flash off as much. It's going to last longer. It's going to be less expensive. So add things to a carrier oil. You're going to be able to smell it longer. If you're wanting to use it as a perfume, that's a really great way to go. So Passion, Whisper, is really great. I also really like the passion and citrus bliss mixed together. That's another really great one. So here are again some more fun recipes that you guys can use. I'm all about the misting bottles. You can buy these through doTERRA. Sometimes they're out of stock. Your old post 2020 with supply chain is bizarre to me. Before that, I never worried about anything being in stock at doTERRA, and sometimes it's a little bit hit or miss. But I love this mister spray bottle because it's a really fine mist, and you're not going to be like, my sheets are all wet if you use another spray bottle. So I really like this. And this can be super fun. So again, just another couple fun recipes. And if any of you want these, you can email me or text me, and I will send this to your email so that you can have some of these recipes. So here are some personal lubricant recipes. And again, you're going to want to make sure that you dilute very heavily, because oils are very safe. I mean, I've used them for 12 years and I've never had an issue. I mean, yes, I've had irritated skin and things like that, but I've never had an issue, and they have done so much good for me, you know, in fun ways, but also therapeutic ways too. So you can definitely use this. Just make sure that you're diluting them. And again, I'm always a big fan of, like it says on here, is, you know, always pay attention to how your body reacts and test any new substances on other parts of your body before those super sensitive areas. You can use the body mist as a great stand-alone lubricant. My husband's favorite lubricant is the Yarrow Palm Body Serum. That is favorite thing ever. So that's another really good personal lubricant. You can use the body mist with the beautiful scent that they've added to it. The Yarrow Palm is also good. That's definitely his favorite. But there's some fun things that you can use. And, you know, the reason, you know, once I started using doTERRA, I realized, you know, I always rolled my eyes when everyone was like, don't use this, don't use that. It can cause cancer or it's toxic. I started rolling my eyes, but I realized, no, there are a lot of toxic things out there, and a lot of personal lubricants are toxic. And that's going to such an intimate area of your body. I want good, clean products there. So that's why I've switched things up, and I do use doTERRA products, and, you know, I feel more confident and more comfortable with that for sure. Some more spicy recipes for you. Again, there's things that are going to increase blood flow in here, things that are going to regulate hormones, things that are going to increase desire, attraction, create relaxation. Really fun recipes. And, you know, I know this is a pro tip, and you're like, this doesn't really seem like a pro tip, but having your oils accessible makes them so much more easy to use. So whether you're wanting to use your oils, take your vitamins, or whatever it is, put it in an area so that you can see this. So put this in your nightstand, or have it somewhere where you can access it easily, because it'll have a lot more fun with these if they're ready to go. Because you don't want to be in the moment thinking, go grab me some clary sage, ylang ylang neroli, and some coconut oil. Like, you don't want to be doing that. You want your stuff made ahead of time. These are fun things that you'll enjoy having, especially if they're made ahead of time. Okay, so you guys, this is totally tacky. I wanted to add this one recipe on here, but I didn't have time to go into Canva and get the different fonts. So this is another really fun recipe. So it was tacky because I don't like my font on here, but this is another really fun one. Is the Royal Massage Oil. And you can always do fun things. I mean, I know there's a picture here of, you know, like this really nice bottle with rose petals in it and all that. You can definitely do that. But you can also, my motto I love is perfect is good, done is better. So I really like the idea of, you know, find something that works for you. If you want to make it look fancy, great. And if you don't, that's okay. So just a fun massage oil. And honestly, this came from doTERRA's website. In fact, I'm going to show you right now where you can get some of these fun recipes. So if you're wanting more, or if you're wanting, Valentine, I think I typed in, yeah, look at all these DIYs. Romantic Valentine's ideas. So this is where this came from. There's bath salts, aromatic candle melts. But here's what's fun. If you go to the doTERRA blog, probably just doTERRA blog, they have all sorts of DIYs. It doesn't even have to be Valentine's centered. Here we go. So they have all sorts of fun recipes. Like there's fun things like fun Valentine's things and perfumes. You can make your own fun perfumes. Those are definitely, that's fun and Valentine's-y. But you can find lots of fun recipes on there. So that's where I got this recipe from. And I've gone there for all sorts of things. So super, super fun. So I want to end, and then I will open it up with questions, is if any of you guys are new to doTERRA and you actually haven't even gotten your own account yet, I just wanted to briefly talk to you about how you would get your own oils at the best deal. And then if you have questions, I definitely will open it up to that. Let me see if I can go back to my handout that I had open. Okay. They have changed this handout so many different times. Okay, while I'm talking, I'm gonna look this up. So I'm gonna be talking and typing at the same time. So there's two different ways to get started in doTERRA. If you wanna get a wholesale membership, which I definitely recommend doing because you wanna be able to get the best prices. And I'm gonna tell you some things that I love about doTERRA. You know, if you decide, hey, I would love to purchase the oils and I would like to do it at a better deal, like I don't wanna have to pay the wholesale pricing. What's cool is that you can get your own wholesale account and they make it so that you can purchase whenever you want. You don't have to order monthly. You can order whenever you want. You can spend the amount that you want. So that's really nice, right? So couple of ways to get that membership are either a one-time fee of $35. And I always tell people, think about this like a Costco membership. You're purchasing your wholesale membership so that you can go in and shop and get the better discounts. And I happen to love Costco and love doTERRA, so I'm fine paying memberships for both because they're two of my favorite places to shop. Now, if you want to waive that membership fee, all you would need to do is purchase one of their starter kits. And a kit that I would highly recommend in the theme of Valentine's would be this Aroma Essential Collection, because everything in here is going to be something that smells fabulous in a diffuser, and it's going to be good for mood. And it comes with this beautiful glass diffuser. So if you purchase this, you're gonna have your membership totally, like you don't have to pay that $35, you're just buying the oils. And I will put this link in the comments so that you guys can open this up and see it for yourself. I just have to be smart enough to get back to the, all right. Where is my chat feature? Chat. So yes, there's definitely more kit options. Right now they are doing a really fun promotion, and I'll just type this in, whereas if you spend 200 PV, you will also get grapefruit, tangerine, wild orange, and let's see how I make up really great spelling sometimes, wild orange and clementine. So you can get extra oils for free. So they're actually, so you'll notice each kit has, each kit is going to have a dollar amount and a PV amount. PV is product value. So the dollar amount is obviously what you're going to pay. The PV, doTERRA assigns a product value to everything for the sake of promotions and commissions. So for me, like if you sign up through me, yes, I do receive commissions. I receive it based off the product value. When you're ordering, doTERRA will have promotions on occasion, like they do this month. And if you spend 200 PV, they give you extra products. So that's when you want to pay attention to the product value. So that Aroma Essentials collection would be a great Valentine starter kit. Another kit that I absolutely love is this Home Essentials collection. You're actually going to get 3 times the oils because the bottles are 3 times as big. And it's only $100 more. So it's a really great way to get more oils. And then you'd also get those 4 oils for free. So I did put this flyer in there so that you can look for yourself. But I always love being able to access the great prices. You know, I don't like paying the retail prices. I always like to get the wholesale. So you're getting a really great product and it's low pressure because you can order whenever you want. So before we wrap things up, I just wanted to ask if there are any questions, and I will stop the recording. Stop.